people that are all unified, no matter color or economic background or status or whatever. We're all unified by being progressive and by wanting to be different. Like, we actively seek out wanting to be different and wanting to be ahead of the curve.
So Moombahton Massive is a party that's been going on in DC for a while. It's been moving around. They've been taking this sound kind of outer nationally, if you will. And it's nice to actually come down and hang out with the boys in their hometown and, you know, see how DC does it.
I actually heard about Moombahton through a friend of mine, and I actually used to hate it a lot. I didn't really understand it. A lot of it was because of like the, you know, how slow it was, the tempo. I was used to a lot of like fast-paced, like house music type stuff, and you know, really that was like kind of how I found out about it, was through that friend, you know. And then I came to a Massive and, you know, heard it the way it was played, and you know, it wasn't about the tempo anymore. It was about just like that emotion and rhythm in it.
Moombahton kind of started on the internet. Like, unless you just like it right away and you're like, wow, this is awesome, you know, people are kind of like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling it. And then they come to the party and they hear it on a proper sound system and they feel the bass like hit them in the chest, and they see all the people dancing and like super diverse crowd and everyone's having fun and people are singing. Like, that's how you kind of get it. And I think a lot of people needed to come here and experience the party before they were like, all right, now I get it, now I'm a fan.
Moombahton is born from screwed Dutch house. It's grown a lot as a genre, and so you'll have like, you know, your more soulful side of stuff, the way you have soulful house. You have your stuff that's a lot ravier, that, you know, some people call Moombah core. You know, you have stuff that's throwing in folkloric elements or cumbia elements, and so it's really, you know, a wide-reaching thing. But I mean, mostly, I guess it's defined by the tempo. You know, it's like 106 to 110. But you know, even I've seen stuff even south of that, you know, get designated Moombahton territory.
I wanted to throw one last party before I moved out to LA, and we were thinking, I was like, we should get one guest to really blow it out and make like a big statement. So we decided to book Moonchi from Rotterdam, who is, you know, pretty much one of the kings of Moombahton music. So we started doing it almost every 3 months, you know, quarterly. And then there was a big accident that happened with Moonchi, and he got out of it, thankfully. But he was basically stuck out in Hawaii with no ID, no money, no health insurance or anything. And we wanted to help him out. And we were like, let's throw a big Moombahton Massive, you know, party to raise money. And that's when my mom, she told me, she was like, hey, how about, you know, I can sell some empanadas and, you know, raise some more money for Moochie. It was such a hit that, you know, she sold out of them. And then we were like, well, the next time we do this, we gotta like have her again.
Nobody else is really bringing those artists to DC besides Tittsworth and Dave Nada and Sabo and Matt. But for me personally, it just feels, you know, like a high school reunion. I've known all these guys for like 10 years, some of them for less. And then there's some guys who I'm meeting for the first time here, who I've been written hundreds of emails with, and who I've sold their music, I've sent them money, but I've never seen them in real life. So that's a total kick too, and you know, it feels like I'm home.
Yeah, like the majority of the people here tonight I met for the first time, but I've been talking to for like a year and a half, you know, and that's like the best feeling of meeting a friend you've been talking to for so long online in person. They're just as cool in person as they are when you talk online and stuff. It's the perfect fusion between all the different types of electronic dance music genres. And I think because of its mid-tempo range, it sits right between like the hip-hop stuff and the dubstep stuff, and then you know, the like 128, 130 club stuff, and you know, other stuff like that. And because of that, it's such an accessible genre because you can combine so many different elements of all this club music that all these people know and love.
Been adopted as like its own sound, like a homegrown sound. And for me, that's probably like the biggest compliment ever, because I grew up on homegrown music, especially in DC, from like hardcore punk, from indie rock to hip hop and go-go. And for people to consider Moombahton music a DC homegrown sound, that is the biggest compliment I could ever get, you know. And it makes me proud. And what's most exciting to me now is that it still continues to bridge different worlds. I hope to see it continue to do that, and just see people like really try to push the sound and, you know, continue to be open-minded about it, whether you're producing Moombahton music, listening to it, or playing it, you know, in DJ sets or going out. Like, I just love to see it grow and be a sponge at the same time.